Good evening everyone and welcome to the first international event that pairs Romania and Greece tonight in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're gonna have a 2-hour race with representatives of the two main leagues in this sim racing environment. We're gonna be racing at Spa-Francorchamps, and of course, as you can see even from the first frame of this evening, it's a lovely weather. It's a weather so typical of the Ardennes. It's a weather that we're seeing so often in real events at Spa-Francorchamps. Of course, the chances of rain, you can simulate them in game, and it was not 100% chance of rain, but you saw our luck is similar to the luck that real racing drivers often have here in Belgium. So it's gonna be raining today at Spa. Will this be an advantage for either of these leagues? We're about to see, as qualifying is underway. It's gonna be starting real soon. Like the first 10 minutes of this session, we're gonna see the GT4s in action. It's a multi-class race. It's a race with two categories, GT3s and GT4s, the two very popular platforms that we can have in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and we have like a really full grid of GT3 and GT4 machinery. Every country has sent out 20 representatives, so we're gonna have 40 cars on track on the 7-kilometer Spa-Francorchamps track, and now it's time to see the GT4s in action. There's a big variety. As you can see in the GT4 European series, there are 11 different models, and most of them are represented in here on the grid today. As far as I can see, the only one that nobody chose is the Ginetta. All the rest of them have at least one representative, either Romanian or Greek. And now it's time to see these GT4s tackling the track. The only good thing that we can say about this weather is the fact that yesterday we had a test race. We tried out the conditions and they were very similar. So at least the guys had the chance to rack in some miles in wet conditions. And so, yeah, we have a chance to see their ability in the wet. Let's just pick a few guys and see these beautiful liveries. I've seen a lot of work. There have been some restrictions, no custom liveries, but we have a design that's reflecting a very old tradition. The tradition that started in between the two world wars, when every country had some national colors that they were spotting at international racing events, and as you can assume, they are quite related to the flags of these countries. So for Greece, you will see the traditional white base on these cars with various tones of blue. While for Romania, it's interesting that back in the day we were racing in navy blue colors and with some shades of red. Yellow was not really well represented on the cars back then. So this is what we'll be seeing, and as you can see, these colors are really fitting some of the models very well. This Aston, for instance, you can put almost any color and it still looks gorgeous. It's a very pretty car that Marius Zamfir is racing now. Everyone is approaching their first flying lap. We can see two Romanian cars here in the bus stop chicane at the end of the lap. There's a difference here. The timing in qualifying starts right here, where Zamfir just crossed the line, just as it is for the Formula 1 track, but the start in less than half an hour. We will see it down here, close to the endurance pits. Here is where the lights will turn to green ahead of the 2-hour race that awaits us tonight. So what we see here are the GT4s. We have 19 cars. There's someone missing from the 20 car lineup. I don't know who's missing right now, if it's a Romanian or a Greek car, but I can tell you who you should be looking for in this group. You're gonna see some very interesting times in the rain here with the GT4s. We have Victor Nicolae currently in his first flyer. He's a double champion of Racing League Romania, and I'm sure he'll be aiming to be at the top in this event as well. He loves the Alpine. We're usually racing in Romania the BMW M4 GT4. It's a single car choice for everyone in our regular season. We'll have all the time in the world to talk about what we're doing in our regular seasons in Greece and in Romania. But for now, this is qualifying. Let's see if pole for GT4 will go towards Romania or Greece. I think that Greece has a good chance with Gzibowski here, the only courageous man to pick the KTM. It's not an obvious selection here at Spa. It's a very well balanced car for tight and twisted tracks, but here at Spa he will need to work out his magic to put this KTM really high up the grid. I've seen something of a disparity when I'm looking at the current standings in the two leagues. Both of them have their ongoing championships, their first seasons in Assetto Corsa Competizione going on. They're in the middle of their campaigns. And if in Romania we have quite a symmetry, let's say, between the top guys picking GT3 or GT4 cars for tonight, there's a bit of a disparity in the Greek league. I've seen ahead of their last race, like 5 guys in the top 6 in the standings. They all went for GT3s today, so it's gonna be a little hard task here for the Greek contingent in GT4. Gzibowski is the highest placed guy, and here we see him going a bit wide in Rédillon. I don't know if his lap has been cancelled. One thing's for sure, Andrei Bekir sets a first time of 2 minutes 41 seconds, 0.0 there, and he's got 2/10 up on Victor Nicolae. These are two of the top guys that I was telling you about. These are really solid guys that will be aiming for triumph in the GT4 category. They don't have a lot of laps here, and now Bekir will be in traffic there. He's catching up a Greek opponent in a Mercedes there. We'll see how it goes. So the first times are there. We see Gzibowski, of course, he's leading the Greek contingent in third, as expected. Giannakopoulos, also a very good time, a very good first time in the McLaren, a car that seems well suited for this track. He's here. He's the meat in the sandwich between two Romanian cars. 1.3 seconds adrift compared to the lead of the class currently held by Andrei Bekir. Then it's Prepeliță, Zamfir, Alex Moș and Kostas Vlahopoulos. Only 8 guys have a valid time. The others, they encountered issues in their lap in cruel conditions here at Spa, or they invalidated their laps by going off track, by going beyond the white lines that are signifying the margins of this circuit. Let's see what times we'll see here. The GT4s, they only have 2 minutes 51 still left. This is an invalidation, that's for sure. Giannakopoulos will now move aside and not affect the guy who was right behind him. Let's see if Prepeliță comes up with something here as he exits Blanchimont, just the final chicane, and we'll see if he improves. Andrei Bekir had 2/10 up on this lap. Let's see here, he's a bit blocked. Yeah, he finds a bit of time there, and he dips in the 240s. He's the first guy to do so, while Victor Nicolae is not on a great lap now. He's not improving at the moment, but he will have one more chance. Gzibowski Yeah, he starts his lap here. He currently sits third there, half a second behind Andrei Bekir. And now we have more times here on the timing sheet. We have Eziroglu setting a good time, and now Papayakovu as well is coming here in ninth with his McLaren. I think the Aston, the McLaren are really solid cars that will fight there at the top end of the group in GT4. Other guys are still to set up a clean lap, and they only have one more chance. For Alex Mosh, it's already over. We see him, he's in the pits. No more time to improve. He's currently 8th, but yeah, we're expecting more times. Eziroglu is improving in his Mercedes AMG, another strong car. I see a lot of green times at the moment. Klironomos as well. Here you can see him in the other Mercedes. That was another particular thing that we chose. Every country can send out only 2 guys with one specific car model. We wanted to have as much variety as we could on the grid to see how various cars compare here at Spa-Francorchamps. So you only have 2 Greek drivers, let's say, with Mercedes AMGs, and 2 Romanians. You have Gravo and Dumitrescu still to set a time, but no more than that. Andrei Bekir, yeah, he's improving. He's finding more and more time here. Let's go on board with Andrei as he's trying to dip even further and establish a solid time and set pole for the GT4 category. 240.9, and he's 6/10 up on the first 2 sectors. He will not be affected by traffic here in the bus stop chicane. He can improve, and he is improving. He found another few tenths there. Let's see if he goes below 240. It's gonna be really close, very close right now. It's a 240.0 at the moment for Andrei Bekir. I don't know if it's valid. It looks like it's not. And qualifying ends for Andrei. The time that's still on the books, it's the 240.9. So yeah, Victor Nicolae cannot improve. Zibovski is at the end of qualifying already. So we have front row of GT4s by Romanian drivers. Yeah, you have 2 Romanians there. I think everyone who's following our league was kind of expecting the top 2 Romanians to be Bekir and Nicolae, and indeed they are. So we have an Aston Martin on pole for GT4 with Andrei Bekir, and then we have Victor Nicolae next to him. On row 2 we have Zibovski, the KTM from Greece, and Yiannakopoulos bringing a McLaren there. On row 3 it's kind of mixed. We have Klironomos for Greece and Robert Prepelica from Romania. So 3 Romanians and 3 Greeks. It's a beautiful symmetry here in GT4. And more than that, as you can see on the list, now we have everyone with the time set, all the 19 drivers that we have tonight, and the top 6. There are 6 different brands of cars there, which is again mightily impressive. It doesn't really matter. The BOP for GT4 cars is quite well done. So that's why we can see this situation. Here you see Christos Nikiforos, and he has the only BMW M4 GT4, a car that Romanian guys could not choose. Our sim racers are racing this for 10 rounds, for half a year. They know all the secrets of this car, or we are still in progress of finding them out, but the experience is considerable. So this is what we chose. We chose not to give the option of going for the cars that everyone is racing in the regular seasons. So this is the situation for GT4s. As you can see there, symmetry, as I said, in the top 6. We have Romanians, we have Greeks, chasing them down. And now it's time to move on to the GT3 category. They are on their outlap, and we'll be starting to see some interesting times now, because at the front of the grid, most certainly we will have a bunch of GT3 machinery, a lot faster than the GT4s. Here you have Yannis Sileos with the BMW M6 GT3, a car that has beautiful memories here at Spa-Francorchamps. This car won the race here. They won with Valkenhorst Motorsport. And this track really suits the BMW. So if Sileos is fast enough, we will see that. Again, a beautiful variety. We have BMWs, 2 from Romania and 2 from Greece. Sileos and Sarantidis paired with Junger and Borlovan. Then we have a contingent of Mercedes cars. We have 4 people choosing the Mercedes AMG. The last version of Assetto Corsa Competizione kind of toned down this car, which was a bit too strong. I'm sure everyone remembers various races in the last few months where almost everyone with a free pick went for the Mercedes. So now I'm not sure that this race will be won by a Mercedes. We have Mihai Rusu, we have Panopoulos as well with a Mercedes, and also Hurdakis from Greece and Cascateu from Romania. So 4 guys going for the Mercedes. The car that I'm seeing as favorite here, and not just because of the strengths of the car itself, but because we have really solid drivers going for that particular car, is the Bentley. Here you can see Panagiotis Kirkos, son of Leonidas Kirkos, the legendary rally driver from Greece. He's an avid sim racer. We have a lot of people with serious connections in motorsport, really active people in motorsport, racing in the virtual world, and we're really happy to see them here. We have Alex Cascateu from Romania, who is a Supercar Challenge Benelux champion in prototypes. We have Kirkos from Greece. We have a lot of guys that are racing in national competition in Romania or Greece. So the Bentley is again a popular choice. We have Kirkos and Mitropoulos placing these Bentleys 4th and 5th, and now ahead of the times we see another Bentley, which is Cristian Berinda from Romania, double champion of Racing League Romania. He's following Kirkos there, and he's setting fast times behind Kirkos, and now it's a 1-2 for Romania in GT3 as well. I'm not expecting this to last very long. Let's see what the response is from the top guys from F1Axion, the Greek league. I'm sure they have a lot up their sleeves. We see Hurdakis is really close to Cascateu there in the Mercedes AMGs. Then we have the Bentleys. So here we won't see 6 different cars in the top 6. We only see 2 different cars in the top 6. 3 Mercedes and 3 Bentleys. This seems to be the fight. Let's see what Polemarchos Sarantidis has as a response. I know he's fast. I've been following the championship in Greece, and yeah, I think he can improve. He is indeed on a very good lap now. He's 4 tenths up. He can improve. I don't know if he can tackle Jim Parisis, but he will be there quite close to that time. That puts a Honda up into 6th place. I really love the NSX, must confess it's one of my favorites, and it's not just me here. Let's see what Sarantidis can do. Yeah, half a second in green, almost 6 tenths now. Let's see if it's a valid lap as well. We'll see it if he climbs up. Yeah, he rises up to 7. He dispatches Mihai Rusu from there. And we're seeing some improvements now, because Alex Cascateu, look at him running even faster, and we have 3 cars in like 300ths of a second. This is mightily impressive. So it's Cascato, then it's Kirkos and Berindia. You see 9,000ths of a second, and now Hurdakis goes on top of this qualifying session. This is extraordinary. This finish of qualifying is absolutely spectacular between Romania and Greece. It changes every second, and now we have a 10th and a half up for Hurdakis, who is in his last lap. Let's see who is trying to improve. Cascato, he is 4/10ths up. He finds some time there. Let's see if Berinda can respond. What Haris Mitropoulos or Kirkos may have for this end of qualifying. This is Alex Cascato's perspective as he enters Pouon. He has raced here at Spa-Francorchamps. He did the Belcar series in a BMW here. He knows what it's like to climb on top of the podium here at Spa-Francorchamps. He did so in 2018 in real life, and he's aiming for a pole position here. Will he make it? He lost all the time. He lost it all. Now he's not up anymore. His delta times are matching Hurdakis. Hurdakis is also attempting to improve. There are good times further down the grid. Fotis Dimas, Yanis Sileos, Sergiu Neagu, they are also improving. Maximilian Junger or Vlad Tănăsescu setting good times. And Lucian Chirvase. Yeah, we're waiting on Lucian to put this second Bentley up there. I know he can do that. He can do it. He's been a regular front runner here in our league, and yeah, he hasn't found a clean lap until now, but now he's fast enough to up the ante. Hurdakis has 3 attempts now. He will encounter some traffic there. I hope he won't get impeded by that. You can see how close it is at the end of this qualifying session. Less than 2 tenths there between Hurdakis, Cascato, Kirkos and Berinda. So for now it's Greece on pole position, and Hurdakis is aiming to find even more time, as Cascato is already on his last flyer. Let's go with Yanis Hurdakis at the end of his lap, and he's dipping in the 226s. He's the first guy that does it, and now everyone is more than half a second adrift. This was impressive by Hurdakis. Let's see if Cascato can find something. 6 tenths may be a lot, but he already found in less than half a lap 3 of those tenths, so there's still room for a surprise. Unfortunately, I don't see Cristi Berinda attempting to run for the last time. So I think we're gonna have a symmetry here. We're gonna see Greece taking the overall pole position. We're gonna see Greece taking the lead on the GT3 front. But again, there's enough symmetry here. Greek guys and Romanian guys in the top 4, 2 each. We saw this in GT4, we see it now in GT3s, so I'm already thinking that it was a very, very good idea to match these 2 leagues. The level is quite similar at the top, and I'm sure we're gonna have a great race. Let's see the last times Alex Cascato has aborted his final run. Let's see if Kirkos or Berinda are trying to find even more. Jim Parisis, he's crossing the line. Let's see, he's in 6th place, and now he moves ahead of Mitropoulos. He finds just enough to get in 5th, but he's still with his fellow Greek there on the 3rd row of the grid, ahead of Russo and Sarantidis on row 4. That's a mixed row. So is row 5 with Dimas and Neagu. Then Sileos and Tănăsescu, Panopoulos and Junger, Perotis and Tufanu, Chirvase, Borlovan. So 18 drivers in the GT3 contingent. And now we see also Tudor Mihai and Yanis Tassopoulos, who have not set a time yet. So this is the end of qualifying. Hurdakis had incredible resources. This was mightily impressive by Hurdakis. Both his best time and his second best time would have been enough for pole position on this track in these conditions. Alex Cascatel, he will be sitting alongside Hurdakis. He's the one that must pay attention at the start. He shouldn't be ahead by a single inch there. If not, he might incur a penalty if his nose is in front of the pole man when the lights go out. We will see this together really soon. Now, yeah, we're forming up this grid. Everybody is trying to find their perfect settings. It's gonna be a wet race. It's very good that they had the opportunity to test a bit these conditions. And this is the pack. Look at the group. This is how good it looks like. Be very careful at the end of the group. We will have a few GT3 cars that didn't set a time, so they need to run through the whole GT4 pack. This is gonna be really hard for them. You see here, there's just one guy in this situation. It's Tudor Mihai down in 38th position. He has not set a valid time and he has all the GT4s in front of him. This is gonna be crucial for Tudor Mihai to find a way to overtake them cleanly and catch the GT3 train. Andrei Bechir in 19th. He's the poleman in GT4 category. Let's see this group. Look at them. It's a lovely bunch of 39 cars up for this event, and we're gonna go on a full formation lap here at Spa-Francorchamps ahead of a 2-hour race. It's a solo effort. This is more similar to what the Greek league is doing. They are running solo in Romania. We have crews of two drivers per car, but everyone was looking forward to this challenge. Everyone was kind of waiting to see this massive effort. You're gonna be sweating a lot tonight. You're gonna be yeah, thinking about the intensity, the effort that you're gonna put in 2 hours of solo driving in such difficult conditions. It's 6 p.m. in Belgium. We're gonna have a day to night transition, and now the cars are moving. This is the moment when the formation lap is starting, and in about 3 minutes time we're gonna be racing here. So, formation lap underway. My name is Alex Șiclovan. I'm the regular commentator of the Romanian League. I'm gonna be your host for this evening's event. I'm gonna be your host for the first international event organized by Racing League Romania in collaboration with F1Axion, the ACC, the Assetto Corsa Competizione League from Greece. We're pairing up the best sim racers from these two countries in this friendly event. It's a friendly contest. Everyone must behave. They had briefings. They know the rules. The rules are obviously quite similar in the two leagues. Everyone knows what to expect. Everyone knows what on-track behavior should be. At the front of the grid, we have Yanis Hurdakis, and his pace was stunning in qualifying. Let's see if Cascatou, Kirkos or Berinda will have a response in the early part of the race. Then it's Mitropoulos and Parisis, two Greek sim racers on row 3. Then Mihai Rusu and Sarantidis on row 4. The GT4s will have their own battle from 19th onwards. From here, from Andrei Bechir, we will have Andrei Bechir. Then it's Victor Nicolae chasing him. This is gonna bring back memories from a lot of races in Romania when these guys battled all in. Right behind them we have Christian Zibowski and Yorgos Yiannakopoulos. So row 2 in the GT4 contingent is 100% Greek, and then it's Vagelis Klironomos with Robert Prepelic, Cezar Toader, Marian Andrei, Paul Greavu, Radu Dumitrescu, and Marius Zamfir. So 6 Romanian guys chasing him down. It's gonna be really easy for everyone who's following us to see who is Romanian, who is Greek. So yeah, I sure hope you're gonna like this. We're in the middle of the formation lap. Yeah, I was just saying hello to everyone who is on the chat. Get ready for the start. It's gonna be really spectacular. 20 degrees in the air, 22 degrees on track. So yeah, it's currently wet and it's gonna stay that way. As you can see in the upper right corner of your screen, in 5 minutes time it's gonna be raining. In 15 minutes time it's gonna be raining as well. So this is the current situation. Let's go back at the front of the grid. Now everyone is in double file as they are approaching the bus stop chicane. Look at this group. We're gonna be ready to tackle this race. Overall, now we have Hurdakis and Cascato leading from the front. We are on the F1 grid now. Race start will not be here. It's after the La Source hairpin, and then we'll be seeing cars being shot towards Eau Rouge and Radillon for the first time. I hope there are not gonna be incidents there. It's gonna be tricky the first time in Lecombe as well, in the chicane at the end of Camel Straight. This is the group. We are now ready for the start here. Let's see how everything's gonna pan out here in the Ardennes on Spa-Francorchamps. We have Hurdakis and Cascato. Cascato, yeah, he takes his place in a legitimate way. So there's not gonna be any investigation, as we're gonna go green. We're going green right now, and this is the start for the 2-hour race. Let's see if everyone races cleanly up through Eau Rouge and Radillon there, as Cristi Berinda is attacking Kirkos there, and he's up into 3rd place. Everything goes well here for the GT3s. Let's have a look further down the pack. In the area of the GT4s, look at how cleanly everyone has started here this race. It's awesome now. Let's see as we approach Lecombe for the first time. It's Bekir and Nicolae side by side there, and Nicolae takes the place. Let's see if he is braking efficiently there. Everyone races cleanly through this area as well. It's lovely to see such manners on track. The first 2 key points, yeah, we went on with this really well. And now it's interesting. Leo Borlovan is being chased by Victor Nicolae. Borlovan is in a GT3 car. Look at Borlovan trying to find his pace in the wet, and Victor Nicolae is pushing him. Going again at the front, we see Cristi Berinda. He made the move on Kirkos, and now he's not 4th anymore. He is in 3rd. He's the leading Bentley behind the 2 Mercedes, as Cascato is trying to press on Hurdakis there. This is his perspective. Look at Cascato tackling the rear of Hurdakis' similar machine. The Mercedes AMG is there. And the Bentleys, you can see them in the rearview mirrors. They are nowhere near, so Cascato can focus on the attack here as they are approaching Blanchimont. Let's see if this is a valid point for an attack. No, he's cautious here into the bus stop. Hurdakis is defending the inside line. No, he's not, but Cascato will not try a crazy dive there. Everyone is behaving as we are approaching the end of a lap. Ferrari yellow flags, it's inevitable, but at the front everyone is racing cleanly as we are tackling La Source, the hairpin, at racing speed for the first time. So it's Hurdakis, Cascateu, Berinda, Mitropoulos, Parisis has made a move on Sarantidis as well. And I don't see Mihai Rusu here anymore. He's going down. A lot of GT3s are going down because the leader in GT4s, Victor Nicolae, is already up into 13th place. Yeah, it's quite high on the grid. We see some guys already into the pits. We have Marian Andrei going into the pits. And he's not the only one. There's Vlad Tănăsescu as well. There's Aristomenis Panopoulos. Yeah, some cars had a few incidents there in the beginning of this race. Let's go with Lucian Chirvase up into 11th place now. He'll be chasing the Lexus driven by Perrotis. And then it's Borlovan who moved past Cătălin Tufanu. This is the fight. This is Tufanu trying to respond to Borlovan as they approach Bruxelles. Yeah, they're right in front of the GT4s. We see Tufanu has a response, indeed. And the McLaren is ahead of the BMW once more. But this is absolutely crazy here. Max Junger in a GT3 tries to find his way past Victor Nicolae and Andrei Bekir. He is getting Bekir there. And then it's another BMW. It's a Greek BMW there in the mix. It's the 949 machine. Yeah, now Bekir is gonna be losing a lot of time there with Max Junger. But Junger will soon be overtaking Victor Nicolae as well. Here's the Alpine, the only Alpine from this race. Now there's a GT3 right behind the Alpine. Is going wide there. You see two GT3s, but Victor Nicolae, he has a stellar pace and he's matching them. Not just two GT3s, they're gonna be three GT3s now because you see Mihai Rusu as well joining that party, and he's now on the inside of Borlovan. Borlovan's race is not going well at the moment, and he's relinquishing his place to Mihai Rusu. In front of Rusu there's Junger now, but Mihai Rusu is clearly faster. He will attempt an overtake going towards Oruj and Radillon. Maybe it's not the safest place to go on the attack. And now Victor Nicolae moves aside. He's not losing any time there. Oh, Mihai Rusu goes wide. Attention, and he's hitting the barriers there. This is damaging his car considerably. And now he's back on the attack with Borlovan, and Andrei Bekir has nothing to do there. He must wait. This is strange, I must confess. It's very, very strange there to see Andrei Bekir juking out with the GT3s, and there are more GT3s behind him. Just look at this situation. There's Vagelis Klironomos there in a GT4. He has been overtook by two Romanian GT3s who will be tackling Bekir really soon. Let's go on board with Tudor Mihai and see how this is going. He'll be passing Leo Borlovan as well. Leo is still trying to find a good grip in the BMW, and then it's a Greek Bentley coming up. This is Tudor Mihai. He's now chasing Andrei Bekir. Andrei Bekir has caught up immediately with the Alpine of Victor Nicolae. This is the lead battle in GT4s, and now look at that Bentley there, trying to get into the mix. It's a Greek Bentley that moves past Borlovan. A very serious move there. Really decisive. And now, yeah, Bekir is being overtook by these GT3s. We're gonna be sticking with this fight. This is a very interesting point of the race. Ahead, it's still Hurdakis, Cascato, Berinda, Mitropoulos, and Sarantidis, the top 5 in GT3. But here we have these GT4 leaders that must be very careful in the traffic. It's gonna be interesting. We have Borlovan going for the pit lane. These are the standings in GT4. Victor Nicolaev, and it's Bekir and Klironomos. You see Klironomos right behind Andrei Bekir in that white Mercedes. So it's really close in the top 3. There's just a gap of 4 seconds, 4.2 seconds there, no more than that. And then it's Prepelița, Papayakovu, Gravu, Oprea, Zamfir, Moș, and Vlahopoulos in the top 10. Nikiforos up to 11th, Tasopoulos 12th. Then it's Cezar Toader, quite low for his standards. I'm expecting him to be on the rise. Eziroglu, Zibovski is down in 15th place again. It's somebody who has showed his speed already. Zibovski, here he is. You can see him on the attack. Then it's Sargiotis, Zacharias, Dumitrescu, Marian Andrei, and Yanakopoulos. This is the GT4 situation. We move on again to the front of this GT4 pack, where Andrei Bekir, he's chasing the Alpine ahead of him. 1.6 seconds. This is the fight, and Klironomos tries to keep up with them. Let's move again at the head of the pack. And here is a fight. Here is a big fight with Cristi Berinda trying to take second from Alex Cascato. They are both fighting with Mitropoulos as well. So second, third, and fourth in the mix here. As we are approaching La Source on the inside, there's Cascato, really close with Cristi Berinda, who will have a better exit. Let's see if Mitropoulos can overcome at least one of the Romanians here. As we are racing towards Eau Rouge. Yeah, he did. He's ahead of Berinda now, and he's trying to tackle Cascato. It's gonna be really close now. You see a twitch from Cascato. He's not as fast as he would have wanted up the hill here, and now he's gonna be a bit vulnerable. I'm expecting this. Look at Mitropoulos there and Berinda side by side. And Mitropoulos is keeping third place. This is a wonderful battle, but yeah, it's getting a bit hard for them to make an impression on Hurdakis, who is already 4 seconds up the road. He's running away with this race at the moment, but there's been only 11 minutes. It's gonna be a really long race. Various strategies coming into place, and I have absolutely no idea how it's gonna pan out. It's still really close, and we see the arguments of both leagues. There was a spinning car there, a spinning BMW. I think that was Max Junger. So now we see 14 GT3 cars are ahead of the GT4 pack. So we have a few dropouts from the GT3 battle. Some people who have already pitted, their strategy going awry with incidents in the beginning of this race. And now Cascato, he has quite an easier time at the moment. Mitropoulos, he's not that close at the moment. This is Berinda. This is his perspective through Blanchimont. He goes very wide, and he's almost losing the car. He's just losing time at the moment. The good part is he's not losing the car as well. He still holds 4th place. Sarantidis is 6 seconds adrift. So behind this group, there's nobody chasing them immediately. Dimas and Parisis have their own fight for 6th. Then it's Sileos and Sergiu Neagu. Now, as we move on to Mitropoulos' car, he's a bit closer to Cascato. Let's see if he's gonna be chasing up the hill. If Cascato's car will be a bit more stable this time. Yep, this is a perfect way to launch yourself on the curves there. And now Cascato cannot impede the draft of the Bentley. But at least he got a good exit there, and yeah, he did all he could. He's defending the inside line into Lecombe, and Mitropoulos has nowhere to go for now. And Cascato will be hoping for Berinda to come back into this fight and give Mitropoulos a hard time. Let's see what's gonna happen. You see, this gap is fluctuating. Now Cascato has 2 or 3 corners of more relaxed time as Berinda steps a bit closer to Mitropoulos. But Hurdakis is escaping. There were 4.5 seconds, now it's 6.5. Yeah, they found another 2 seconds. The leader is further up the road because Cascato doesn't have this pace and doesn't have a similar pace. And he's also defending whenever Mitropoulos is attempting something there. The gap at the lead of GT4 is, the GT4 category is stable now, 1.6, 1.7 seconds between Nicolai and Bekir, as Klironomos is not holding that, that similar pace. He's dropping away from the first 2. Nicolai has a cleaner race right now. All the GT3s that were chasing him are now in front. He has 20 seconds up to the GT3s, a clear track ahead of him. It should be, if you don't have any back markers already. So now we're sticking with this fight. We see here Berinda trying to push his Bentley next to Mitropoulos. So 2 Mercedes, then 2 Bentleys, then the BMW of Sarantidis, who is in the second group. Here you can see Sarantidis being chased by a Lexus and the Honda. It's Dimas and Parisis there chasing him down, and then it's Sileos in another BMW, and the Aston of Sergiu Neagu. Perotis is in 10th place. Then it's Lucian Chirvase, Cătălin Tufanu, Rusu, and Mihai. And then we have the GT4 fight. We're going back to this group again. Mitropoulos is closer to Cascato than Berinda is to Mitropoulos. But as I'm saying this, the situation changes once more, and Hurdakis can be even more relaxed. 6 seconds are now 7. As Cascato has an approximate line here in Brussels, but he holds on to second place. It's very important not to make mistakes here. It's essential to get a clean run in this medium intensity rain, as ACC describes it. On board with Mitropoulos once more as we look to the back of Cascato's car, and yeah, there's somebody ahead of him. There's the GT4 BMW of Nikiforos. He will move aside. There's a long acceleration phase here. Ooh, you see, destabilizing. Mitropoulos was greedy on that exit. He tried to stay on that curb and not steer too much. And now they caught up with Nikiforos ahead of Blanchimont. Let's see if Berinda did this overtake fast enough. We don't see Berinda there. I think he had to wait until after Blanchimont. And now it's a touch from Mitropoulos to Cascatou. Mitropoulos is waiting for for Cascatou to recover. Yeah, that's very elegant of him. So yeah, this is a very nice behavior. They are both losing time now. Berinda is up into second place, but Mitropoulos did the right thing here. He knows that it was his mistake, and now it's Alex's mistake. Cascatou goes deep into La Source there and relinquishes third place. Now it was an easy pass for Mitropoulos. This battle has been now cleared. We have Berinda running solitary in second, and Mitropoulos ahead of Cascatou. But our live stewards, they have something to look at already. It's the 19th minute of this race, and this incident, no matter how gallant, how courteous Mitropoulos was, may find him under investigation really soon. Until now, I haven't seen any decision being taken by the stewards, which is obvious, given that the start has been as clean as everyone saw it was. But now, yeah, we have this incident. We have something with Mitropoulos and Cascatou. I think half of the penalty has already been served by the natural thing that Mitropoulos did, which is waiting for Cascatou. This will most likely be appreciated by the stewards, who will hand him a less severe penalty. But this is out of my scope to decide. We will see together if a penalty arises for third place Mitropoulos. And now Cristi Berinda, he's the main beneficiary of this move. He passed both cars and he's now running in a solitary second. He's 11 seconds behind Hurdakis, the leader of this race. Here he is. It's the Greek Mercedes. He's got some traffic ahead of him. Let's see the comparative pace of Hurdakis and Berinda now that Berinda can give his all, can show what he has in reserve. Now that he doesn't have other cars ahead of him, straight ahead of him, affecting his pace. 11.5. This is the gap that we will monitor. Then it's gonna be Mitropoulos and Cascatou. Cascatou 1.7 seconds. Again, let's see if Cascatou has some resources to close the gap back to Mitropoulos. Sarantidis, Dimas and Sileos, I'm sure they're in a bit of a different pace. Yeah, you see the penalty. You see it in front of your eyes. It's on the graphic screen on the tower on your left. You have 10 seconds added to Mitropoulos for this incident. It's gonna be added at the end of the race. So we will be monitoring who is close enough to him. Berinda in the meantime has closed the gap, and that's only because Hurdakis had some traffic there. It's a slow lap by him. Cristi Berinda is trying to set up his personal best. He's 2/10 up compared to what he previously did. But at the moment, the only guy who has set already a time of 2 minutes 27 seconds in this race is the leader. It's Yanis Hurdakis. Cristi Berinda is trying to be the second one to dip into the 227s, but it's not the case at the moment. Let's see what he can do. Everyone in the race sees that Mitropoulos has that penalty. Cascatou knows already that the live stewards took action for that infringement, and I think it's a fair judgment. There's no need for more than those 10 seconds for the incident, with very little damage there between Mitropoulos and Cascatou. More traffic ahead of the leader. Look at this. He needs to clear all these cars before the bus stop chicane. Will he be able to do that? A lot of GT4s. He will be tackling these GT4s. You see, there's the Camaro from Greece and a Romanian McLaren. And now Hurdakis is past another GT4 Mercedes there, which I think is Paul Gravo. Yes, indeed, it's Gravo. So the next guy ahead of him will be Rareș Oprea. We see the R8 Audi ahead of Hurdakis, and it's gonna be then Berinda's turn to tackle all this traffic. Yeah, he's passing GT4 Audi from Greece now. He runs a bit wide in Eau Rouge, and now he's trying to chase Hurdakis from a distance and do a better job in traffic if possible. He leaves all those GT4s behind, but ahead of him, you only get more. You get more of that traffic. You see 3 other GT4 cars right in front of Cristi Berinda. Andrei Bekir has caught up to Victor Nicolae. The gap is less than a second at the head of the GT4 pack. Let's have a look at the standings in the GT4 class. You see Victor Nicolae and Andrei Bekir. They are there in the same second. But for now, we'll just stick with the camera on Cristi Berinda to see how much time he's gonna be wasting in passing these 3 GT4 cars that he has ahead of him. It's Gzibowski there with the KTM van. It's a Camaro. The first one is easily caught. The second one as well. It's an approximate line here in the pith path. And then the Romanian McLaren will make him lose a bit of time there, but it's not critical. He did a good job in traffic here, and behind him there's gonna be a freeway fight there with Alex Mosh being tangled by the Camaro. Again, an incident for the stewards. Gzibowski takes avoiding action, and yeah, he's clear there as Alex Mosh is trying to recover. Here is Hurdakis, and now we must move here because Andrei Bekir is on the attack. He has caught up with the Alpine of Victor Nicolae, and they must race cleanly. We saw a few incidents. Now's the time to fight, but be very, very careful. Nicolae and Bekir, they opened up a good gap on Cliron almost there. And now it's on the outside with Andrei Bekir, and Victor Nicolae has absolutely no top speed to match that Aston Martin on the Camel Straight. He'll be trying to stay aside there as they touch a bit into Lecombe. But now there's a change of leader in GT4 category. There was Victor Nicolae moving ahead of Bekir right at the start. And 26 minutes later, it's Bekir that takes his revenge on Victor Nicolae, and now he's ahead of Nicolae once more. He is running wide here in Speaker's Corner. It's my corner, and now Victor Nicolae, he's planning a bit of a revenge there. Let's see if he can do something. We're moving on Nicolae's car. This is his perspective from the Alpine, or Alpine as we should call it, in a beautiful French pronunciation. It's the only French car around here, so it deserves all the praise. It's a lovely car, both in street trim, rally or circuit environment. Let's see what Victor Nicolae can do about Andrei Bekir. I'm sure he would like to get his revenge, but on these long straights, I think the Aston just has the legs on the Alpine, and we see the two drivers in close company here as they go through Blanchimont. Again, Bekir runs a bit wide. Victor Nicolae is a bit stronger on the brakes, I think, and in slow corners, and then he overshots. Andrei Bekir overshots the last chicane, and I think he'll be losing the place. You will see right away now he's on the attack. It's Victor Nicolae in parallel, and he's gonna have the inside line into La Source. You're gonna have a second episode on the Camel Straight. Yeah, Victor Nicolai goes on the inside and now he retakes P1. It's a lovely fight here in GT4 and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens in this situation. Again, the Aston Martin is chasing down the Alpine there, and he's getting a good exit. He doesn't cross that that curb on the left-hander. Is he close enough to open an attack? Is Victor Nicolai aiming to defend this move? I don't think so. He's not defending. And they're touching. It's a light touch. And yeah, Bekir is moving again ahead of Victor Nicolai. Everything is clean enough. But as I said, there are enough things for the stewards to analyze. There was that freeway GT4 incident with Alex Mosh and the Camaro that Grzybowski avoided, and you see it right now. Tassopoulos, the Camaro driver, he's getting a 5-second penalty for that incident. It's only 5 seconds. Yeah, I would be surprised if 5 doesn't become 10, and indeed it does. There's 10 seconds again, same measure as Mitropoulos. Now it's Tassopoulos who gets 10 seconds for tagging Alex Mosh into a spin. And we're keeping our eyes here with this lovely fight. Victor Nicolai is giving a hard chase to Andrei Bekir, and they're still lapping faster than Klironomos, who is 16 seconds adrift. There are no GT3s to bother them. They can run at their own pace here. It's lovely to see this this fight. Let's switch on a bit these graphics and see what the GT3 situation is. There's Cristi Berinda there in second place. Then it's Mitropoulos and the Cascato, and Cascato is pitting. Cascato decides to pit after half an hour. What's going on with Alex Cascato? This is quite early for a pit stop, but I think he had some light damage there that he wanted to fix, and he expected the first moment where a pit stop can be taken and be the only pit stop of this race. He can go with a full tank from now on till the end of the race. If he's careful with the engine mapping in the wet, I think he can pull it off. It's gonna be quite a hard task, but we'll see. We'll see if this is the only pit stop from Alex Cascato, who gives up on his third place. He's dropping down to 10th. I hope it's just a regular pit stop and nothing more than that. We'll see if he'll be moving of that pit lane. Now we see Andrei Bekir. I think he's distancing now Victor Nicolai. You see the Alpine is smaller and smaller behind this Aston Martin, and yeah, this is the new leader. This is the new leader of the GT4 category. Going back to the GT3s, Cristi Berinda has lost further time in traffic. There were 11 seconds, now it's up to 14 seconds between Hurdakis and Berinda, while Haris Mitropoulos is getting closer. He's setting some good laps, better than Berinda in this phase of the race. As we are moving already into the second quarter of this contest. Again, there's almost nothing to choose here between these guys. Let's see what happens with Alex Cascato. No, this is a technical issue. Alex Cascato has disconnected from this race, and now it's only Cristian Berinda amid 6 other Greek racers in GT3 category in the top 7. And the second Romanian is Sergiu Neagu. So behind Berinda there are Mitropoulos, then it's Vimas, another 13 seconds behind Sarantidis, Parisis and Sileos. As the group drops down to 17 running GT3 cars with Vlad Tănăsescu, the last of the group. Kirkos had a race to forget until now. I know he has the pace, but he's down in 16th spot now. So it's time to switch on back to the GT4 fights. Robert Prepelica is being caught by Jim Paris is there. It's a GT3 behind him. No point in fighting. But Robert makes little to no impression on Cliron almost ahead of him. So in GT4 there's a podium with 2 Romanians and 1 Greek. In GT3 it's the other way around. The current podium has 2 Greeks and 1 Romanian. Again, the symmetry is still something that I need to underline during this race. Again, Prepelica is being chased by these GT3 cars. Now it's Sileos who puts a lap on that Cayman. Bekir up to 14th now that Cascatou is out of this race. The lead GT4 cars are climbing one more place in the overall standings. It matters very little. It's really not important where they are. It's good for us that we can see on the same first page these first 23 drivers, and there are enough GT4s already there on the list. There are 8 of them. As Max Junger, yeah, he's recovering currently. You see him here. He's moving past these GT4s. Ahead of him, there's another one. There's the 942 Aston. Look at Max Junger. He's really pushing there. And behind him there's a Lexus. Another guy that needs to be improving is Mihai Rusu. Look at this Mercedes. After that hit up on the Radeon, it's difficult for Mihai Rusu to recover, but he will be repairing his car when time comes for his mandatory pit stop. It's not marked as mandatory, but we're positive that nobody can run the distance without with a full tank of fuel. Conditions are not improving. It's gonna be the same situation. Here's Mihai Rusu battling through GT4 traffic. He's past that penalized Camaro, and then it's gonna be the KTM ahead of him. Behind Mihai Rusu, there's Tudor Mihai, an equally damaged McLaren there, right behind. He's moving past the Camaro, and he sets his sight on the damaged Mercedes ahead. So it's Rusu and Tudor Mihai there again. Rusu is overtaking the KTM right before Blanchimont, and there's gonna be again more traffic for these guys. Blue flags between the classes. And we can hear the beautiful McLaren 720S going past the KTM, and in front of him there's gonna be Mihai Rusu overtaking more traffic, more GT4 cars. There's a Romanian Mercedes GT4, and then it's the Audi again. Very careful. He was really close to the wall there. I think that's Rareș Oprea. Oh, here is Perotis. He's off the track in Brussels. He can recover really fast. No big issue there. Then it's Lucian Chirvase up into the top 10. Hurdakis is still gapping Berinda. Now it's up to 16 seconds. And Mitropoulos is getting nowhere near Cristi Berinda at the moment. 6 seconds plus another 10 for the penalty. It will not make him drop a place now that Cascateu is not in this contest anymore. Dimas is 16 seconds adrift, which is a lot. I have absolutely no idea what happened to Andrei Bekir, but he's again behind Victor Nicolae, and for the fourth time I think he will attempt an overtake on Victor Nicolae. It's a spectacular fight here. It's awesome. What we're seeing here is really great in this category. Look at Bekir chasing Victor Nicolae, and now it's an M6 GT3 coming behind them. Again, it went a bit unwell for Victor Nicolae, who is under attack now. Let's see what Jim Parisis can find to overtake these two cars. There's enough room on the right, and he moves again ahead of these GT4s. Andrei Bekir is leading Victor Nicolae once more, but in this chicane, Victor Nicolae has a better line. This is a beautiful fight. Are they doing it for the show, or is it actually 100% full engagement there and no errors? I have no idea, but I really know these guys, and I think they want to defeat the other one each and every time. It doesn't matter what event it is. Again, look on the exit there. He took some curb, Andrei Bekir, and the car is destabilized. Yeah, Konstantinos Kotoyanis is asking us what happened to Alex Cascateu. We don't know. Yeah, you can go check his YouTube stream. He had an onboard stream. I think he might have closed it by now. He will be joining us. I'm sure he will respond to you when he'll see these infos about him. Yeah, he was fast enough. He was there in the podium mix, and now we're losing one of the guys that should have been there in the fight. Another BMW passes Bekir, and yeah, that was a move right at the limit. Leo Perotis, he's getting 15 seconds. He's getting a penalty as well. And now we see Bekir. He's overtaking a GT4 car by a lap already. This is strange in 40 minutes. One lap adrift. Let's see who's there ahead of him. It's Radu Dumitrescu, who has an eventful race. He's a fast guy. He's a guy that has won races in Racing League Romania, but yeah, this doesn't seem to be his night. Look at Andrei Bekir overtaking Dumitrescu there, with Victor Nicolae trying to keep as close as he can to this fight. And now, yeah, I think it's about time to answer Mr. Kotoyanis as well. Where are you? Why aren't you in this race? Yeah, I've seen you race in your league, and you're one of the front runners who is missing, unfortunately, from this race. Both leagues have a few absences, but it's been overwhelming. The response, everyone has found some time to schedule this race. It's a busy time. Both leagues are in the middle of their competitive seasons here, and yeah, we still find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. You know what they say. We both wanted, both Romanians and Greeks, we wanted to host this race There are issues there around the leader Hurdakis, but he's navigating very well. Eziroglu has a damaged car there. So coming back to the situation in the two leagues, we are both in a similar position at the moment. Both Racing League Romania and the Greek F1Axion community, they are hosting their first competitive seasons in Assetto Corsa Competizione. The Greek league has started early. They have started in October 2020, so they have now already completed 7 rounds out of a 12-round calendar. Their last race was like 2 days ago, just 2 days ago on Wednesday. So the Greek drivers had little time to prepare for this event, but it goes the same way for their Romanian counterparts, who will have the 4th round of their championship of the Racing League Romania BMW GT Challenge this Sunday. So 2 days from now, on Sunday evening, I will be expecting you on BMW Romania Facebook page with a Romanian live stream of our championship round. It's gonna be Laguna Seca for the Romanians. It was Bathurst two days ago for the Greek league. So everyone's been busy. Everyone still found some time to have this fun event, this first encounter between the two countries on Friday evening. So in the middle of our competitive seasons, I'm sure we will find more opportunities to organize these type of common events, especially once our regular seasons will end. The Greek season ends at Laguna Seca at the end of April, while the Romanian championship ends about 3 weeks later in mid-May. With a 4-hour race, it's gonna be the longest race of the season in the Romanian Championship, the 4 hours of Barcelona. Regular rounds are 1 hour or 2 hours in these leagues, but the end of the affair in Romania is gonna be a 4-hour endurance race. So afterwards, from May onwards, we will be scheduling. We will be looking for the future, for the second seasons of our national championships. But there's gonna be time, given how things pan out with COVID and everything else. It depends how our summer plans will be going along. There's a long time when to plan ahead, and for the Romanians, usually in summertime, Greece is one of the most popular destinations. I'm sure that a lot of our drivers, a lot of our fans have already spent their summer vacations in Greece more than once, and they will be looking ahead for better days when traveling will be easy, and we can all see something different from our regular day-to-day perspectives. Back to the race, because it's really easy to start discussing general things, stuff like that, but there's only so much enthusiasm for events such as this. I know already from the talks that we had with our Greek counterparts that they are planning ahead other events such as this, facing the Greeks with other nations. And Romanians are doing the same. We are both trying to expand our international presence, and this is a step in the right direction. Everyone who sees this race can have a proof of what the level is in these two leagues, and see that the top guys in both championships are good enough to tackle any European opposition. And I really look forward to see more friendly matches, just like in footballing terms. These national representatives are a thing of pride in the end. A lot of Romanians are now cheering for the Romanian guys. A lot of Greeks are doing the same for their drivers, for their friends, and that's the spirit of sim racing that we really love. Hurdakis has 20 seconds now up on Cristi Berinda, and there are no pits in sight yet. I'll be expecting them in the next 15 to 20 minutes maybe, or even later. We see Berinda trying to hustle this Bentley as Mitropoulos is getting a bit closer to this fight. Andrei Bekir, he's now gapping Victor Nicolae. In between them there's Leo Borlovan. He's now ahead of Bekir. It's better for Bekir to have no interference with the GT3 car, no matter if it's Greek or Romanian. His only rival at the time is Victor Nicolae. It's Klironomos is more than half a minute adrift now. Prepelica is closing in on Klironomos, and so is Papayakovu on Prepelica. So there might be a fight for third as well in GT4. We'll see about that. There are 3 penalties already on the timing screen. There are drivers that are not running anymore in this race. Panopoulos, Giannakopoulos are missing in action right from the get-go, and so is Alex Cascato. Victor Nicolae, he's pushing on. You see Andrei Bekir there ahead of him. He already knows all the strengths of the Aston Martin. He may be cursing his Alpine for some really evident, really obvious weaknesses. But here you see some approximate lines sometimes from Andrei Bekir, and that's what Victor is hoping for. He's hoping to get a chance to grasp an opportunity on that Aston once more. He was in a position to counter the attack of the Aston several times, and I'm sure this battle will be pursuing. It's nowhere near finished. Currently in the race we have 35 drivers, so a few guys are missing in action. As I said, Aristomenis Panopoulos, Mercedes, a GT3 Mercedes. He is not, unfortunately, in this race. I haven't seen Christos Kalamidas either. Really close here between Nicolae and Bekir in the GT4 category, and we'll see. Let's move on to this fight between Max Junger and Panayotis Kirkos. You see, there they are, P14 and P15 in the GT3 category. Kirkos has been recovering. He's been setting really solid times, 229s. He's faster than Max Junger, but will find a way by. They are both passing Nikiforos in the M4 GT4. This goes well, and now they can resume their fight. They can move further. I don't know what happened there, but Lucian Kirvase has dropped a few places. He was up in 10th. Now there's Rusu and Tudor Mihai moving further up. It's a really solid effort by Mihai Rusu, especially with that damaged car. He's lapping faster than Perotis, Neagur, Sileos ahead of him. He still has 13 seconds to Perotis, but Perotis has 15 seconds added to his time at the end of the race. And now we see Kirkos on the attack. He's on the camel straight, but Max Junger is trying to brake as late as possible, and there's no overtaking opportunity. Now he overshoots the chicane, and I think the Bentley will be on the inside. Indeed he is, and he's passing Max Junger. Junger is trying to counter, but on the outside line he has no chance there in Brussels, and now 14th goes the way of Kirkos, as Junger is now trying to catch up on his Greek rival and get a glimpse on a way to get back ahead of that Bentley. That Bentley is fast in everyone's hands. We see two Bentleys on the podium currently. It's Berinda and Mitropoulos, so in both Romanian or Greek hands, it's still fast. And so is with Kirkos or Lucian Kirvase. Kirvase is up ahead of this fight. You see, there is Kirvase, and I think it's gonna be a battle between these two Bentleys at a certain point in time. The trouble is that Kirkos and Junger are one lap down, so Kirvase is quite safe. You see 2 laps on the graphic, but when they're gonna be crossing the line, there's gonna be just 1 lap. So Kirvase has 20 laps in the book. Kirkos and Junger, Borlovan, everyone else, they have 1. Of course, we moved aside and now we're coming back to this fight, and it's still ongoing. They're still 1 second apart. We see Victor Nicolae struggling here, but Bekir is really close ahead of him. There are some guys that are really in the mood for this fight, and they are looking great. Let's see this perspective on Gzibowski. And ahead of him, he's got the McLaren of Cezar Toader. As somebody is moving aside there, there's a car that has some issues. I don't know if it's Gravu or Dumitrescu. Hope it's not Gravu, because Dumitrescu was further back. And now we'll see the KTM trying to push his way by that Romanian McLaren. It's funny the way it sounds. It's just a McLaren driven by a Romanian. Okay, in the meantime we have the explanation from Alex Cascateu. So we had onboard perspectives by Alex Cascateu and also Andrei Bekir. You can see that wonderful fight. Go search for Andrei Bekir's channel. He's always got his stream there. Of course, if we're talking about streaming, our Greek colleagues, they have their own stream in Greek language, and you can win some interesting prizes if you join Lefteris' stream. Make sure you keep a close eye on those prizes. Yeah, these leagues have wonderful partners, and it's growing. It's exceptional to watch how it's not just in Romania, it's in Greece, it's everywhere. We see more and more sponsors which are open-minded, and they come and join these events. They see the numbers, they see all the interest it generates, and it's awesome whenever we see it even overtaking and racking up better numbers than real racing. This is something that I couldn't have hoped for 2 or 3 years ago, but now it's a reality. When you're looking at the numbers, sim racing is really a massive investment at the time, and it generates a lot of exposure and a lot of value to everyone's partners. So there's a reason whoever was wise enough to bet on this, to take a leap of faith and join the fray in sim racing, is now gathering the rewards, because it's gonna be harder and harder to get some good exposure in sim racing if you are not one of the first to join the party. Sim racing is also live on television in many countries. It is in Romania. It is in Greece. It's everywhere. So yeah, this is a joy to watch, and it's a joy to be a part of it and to help develop this wonderful environment. You saw some GT3s passing by, interfering with this fight between Cezar Toader and Christian Zibowski, and now they can resume their fight there. Zibowski in this KTM, Cezar Toader in the McLaren ahead. This is his perspective from the rear of the McLaren. We see there Zibowski closing in the bus stop chicane. There's the KTM behind, pressing on. He was third on the grid in GT4, and he's still close. He's recovering. He had a nasty beginning of the race, and now he's fighting his way back in the pack. Let's take another look at the GT3 standings. Hurdakis 23 seconds. Yeah, he's racing nice and clean there at the front of this race. He's gapping Berinda ever since Berinda is up into second place. When it's Fotis Dimas, and we saw a few cars that already decided to pit. There's no direct fight in here at the moment, but there is one right here. Here you see Jim Parisis getting closer and closer to Polemarchos Sarantidis in the BMW, and now it's another fight within the same country's representatives, and they touch there in the piff path. The Honda stays behind. Parisis needs to yield as the leader is taking the route towards the pits now, and so is Cristi Berinda. Here is Hurdakis. You can see him. In front of him is the GT4 leader. There's Andrei Bekir. Victor Nicolae stays out. Cristi Berinda. Here you can see him. He's in the upper pits as Hurdakis is approaching his pit box in the lower, in the endurance pits. And we're now officially into the second hour of the race. It's the mid-race point, and there are a few guys leading these categories that decide to take their stops right at the middle of this contest. The conditions, they are stable. It's continuing to rain. It's been raining for the whole entirety of the qualifying session and the race. And as you can see, the prediction on the upper right corner of the screen, track is wet, temperature is 17 degrees. It's gonna get a lot darker, and rain will not stop, at least not in the next 15 minutes. You see now Berinda is also stopping in his box right behind Hurdakis. I think this is as close as he got to Hurdakis. This is Berinda's perspective, but he will see Hurdakis leaving, as also Bekir is right behind Hurdakis now. They are rejoining the track. You can see them now climbing on this right side of the road and rejoining the track. Only after Radion, and there's a crash there, and Hurdakis is being hit now by Andrei Bekir, who couldn't avoid him. It was all due to that McLaren. That McLaren, was it Cezar Toader? Indeed, he is. Cezar Toader has caused an incident for the leader. So right after the pit stop, Yanis Hurdakis, let's see if he's moving. No, he's not. The leader is being taken out of this race. Yanis Hurdakis has teleported to the pits. He will now repair his car, but his chances of winning are now gone because of that incident with a backtracker with the GT4 car of Cezar Toader, who was just spun out on the track. Andrei Bekir also, this has an impact on his race. Let's see. Look at the damage on this Aston Martin. So the two class leaders prior to the pit stop, Bekir and Hurdakis, were involved in this incident, and it was just that Bekir had a lengthier stop. Bekir was ahead of Hurdakis on the pit lane, and then he exited behind Hurdakis, and when Hurdakis clattered into Toader, Bekir had nowhere to go, and he further smashed into Hurdakis. And now this means good news for their opponents. Cristi Perinda will be inheriting the lead of the race. He's now in 6th, but ahead of him there are only cars that haven't pitted. Dimas is pitting right now. Sarantidis has already. So it's now Jim Parisis who leads the race. He's a famous sim racer from Greece. He has a lot of experience. But he was there in that group that was battling for 4th and 5th place. Mihai Rusu, he should be going to the pits as well to repair this car. He's now up to 4th, but yeah, now's the time for Mihai Rusu to be going to the pits as well. Here is Fotis Dimas going towards his pit box as well. And you see Kirvase, he's also there in the pit lane. A lot of other cars are in this battle. You see Cezar Toader, he's damaged. McLaren is also in the pits right now, but he was a factor. He was the deciding factor that took out the leader of the race, took out Hurdakis. Let's see if Hurdakis has any appetite to continue this race after like 2 or 3 minutes of repairs. He can proceed for fun, that's for sure. I think, yeah, Hurdakis is out of the contest. So now it's Jim Parisis leading this race from Sergiu Neagu, then it's Perrotis, but these 3 guys haven't stopped yet. Cristi Perinda did. So let's have a look at the current situation overall. We have Victor Nicolae leading in GT4, but he hasn't stopped. And he now has a fully functional car, while Andrei Bekir will be nursing his Aston Martin with some damage. This might bring Victor ahead in that fight, but we'll see. Andrei Bekir is a fighter, he's a grafter, and he will give his all. Let's see if he will hold position at least after his pit. Here is the leader, here's Jim Parisis going towards the pit lane. Here's the NSX Honda, it looks great in any colors. It looks even prettier in Greek national colors, I must admit. And Parisis has a chance for an overall podium in this context. You see Mitropoulos, he stood in the pit lane for those additional seconds, and his penalty is now cleared because yeah, he already satisfied that infringement, and Perrotis will do the same the moment he will be in the pit lane. Sergiu Neagu, 2nd place, also in the pits, and now it's gonna be Perrotis who will be leading this race for a while. Let's see for how long. Here he is. He will need to stay for an additional 15 seconds at his pit stop. From a Honda to the Lexus. It's not Super GT here. There are just GT3 cars that are racing in Europe as well. We don't have the Nissan on the grid here, and the reason is that it's a car that's been raced in the Greek league in the regular season. so it's not allowed to take part here. Leonidas Perotis leads this race. Cristi Berinda is the first guy that already went through the pits. You can see the Bentley behind Perotis. There is Berinda, 5 seconds adrift, but he will be the leader of this race after these pit stops. Let's see where Jim Parisis will be exiting. He's far away from Berinda, but his fight is not with Berinda. It may be with Mitropoulos after that penalty. Let's see where he is. Yeah, Mitropoulos went ahead. Mitropoulos has exited already the Lecombe chicane. He's far away from Parisis. In between them, there's Tudor Mihai, who has still a pit stop to overcome. He hasn't been into the pits. So Berinda, Mitropoulos, Dimas and Parisis and Sarantidis have been into the pits. And here is the fight. Look at this group. Look at how tight it is. With Sarantidis right behind Parisis and Dimas up on the road, less than 1 second ahead. So 3 Greek drivers, they must fight their way here. They must see who's the fastest of them. And I think Parisis and Sarantidis will try to catch up on Dimas if possible. This is their perspective in Pouhon. Here is the M6 GT3 driven by Sarantidis, right behind Parisis. It was this close, and there's the GT4 that's hindering Dimas there in the chicane, in the pith path. And now Jim Parisis doesn't have a clear run on that Greek GT4. On the outside of this corner, he'll be wasting a lot of time, and this is Sarantidis' chance. Look at Sarantidis now trying to find the gap, but there is no gap there. There's no room for 3 cars in parallel here. He's pushing now towards Blanchimont, and he will try to get on with Parisis here. Parisis gently presses the brakes there to stabilize his car, but he's gonna be vulnerable now. Let's see what's the right moment of attack for Sarantidis. He doesn't go for a lunge into the bus stop chicane, and we're moving towards La Source with this group in close contention. Tudor Mihai is now in the pits, and all these guys will be surely overtaking him. Mihai Rusu has been in the pits, and he's now starting his recovery drive from 10th. Here you see Tudor Mihai. He hasn't reached yet his pit box. There's a lot of time there. And now Cristi Berinda has caught up with Leo Perotis. He's just behind him, and let's see if there's gonna be a clean overtake. Perotis still hasn't been into the pits, and this is Berinda's perspective. Look at the rain dropping down here in the pith path. He must be very, very careful. Perotis is not his main rival in this race. He needs to find a clean way to get past. And yeah, here's half of an opportunity, but it's being blocked into Cours Porfrère. So Berinda must keep an eye on Mitropoulos, who is 14 seconds behind him. This is Victor Nicolae ahead of Cezar Toader. Let's see where he is in comparison with Andrei Bekir. He still hasn't pitted. Victor Nicolae. This is a clear-cut race for him for now. Let's see where he will be in comparison with Bekir. Perotis, he'll be going towards the pits right now. Plus 15 seconds, and then all the penalties that the stewards have awarded will have been satisfied, will have been cleared by these drivers. So Berinda's closest challenger is Mitropoulos, and then it's a freeway fight between Dimas, Parisis and Sarantidis, which either Perotis or Sileos are hoping to get into by the end of the race. But for now, looks like a freeway fight here. Look how close it is. Dimas is catching up on a GT4 car, but Jim Parisis is already there. He's right behind him, and he's not coming alone. He's coming with Sarantidis. He leaves the GT4 BMW behind, and now we'll be going towards Eau Rouge. Let's see who gets the best line there, as they're taking third place away from the Perotis, who's in the pits. Sarantidis misses a tempo there, and now Dimas can easily defend his position to Parisis' attacks as well, which is fine. Mitropoulos is closing in on Berinda. 47 minutes still left into this race, and all our protagonists from the GT3 category have been into the pits. Now that Perotis also did his stop, and now the leader of GT4, Victor Nicolae, is also doing that. So then we will be able to report a similar situation in GT4 as well, with the leaders having pitted. Victor Nicolae is the last one to do so. He's gonna be wasting a lot of time here until he reaches his box. In the meantime, Andrei Bekir, he has a lot of miles to rack up here. The third sector, until he reaches the point where Victor Nicolae is stationary now. Let's see his laps at the moment. He's lapping 242s. His last lap was a 242.7. His best lap a 240.5. So 2.2 seconds away from what his best performance was. This lap is not extraordinary either. It's obvious that that damage is costing him. It's hurting Bekir's pace, and we will see at the end of this lap, when he'll be passing the endurance pits, if he's ahead or behind the Alpine of Victor Nicolae. I think he's gonna be behind, but don't take my word for granted. We'll see this fight. This is Victor Nicolae stationary, and now I think his pit stop has ended, and he'll be climbing up the hill, while Andrei Bekir, he's here. He is not very far behind Victor Nicolae. You will see Nicolae on the right, a few seconds ahead of Bekir. It's close, but Nicolae stays ahead. Here is Victor Nicolae into the chicane, and he exits the chicane right when Bekir is entering it. There are 5 seconds now. This is the difference between Nicolae and Bekir. Bekir should be doing some calculations now if there's a chance of Vagelis Klironomos to catch him by the end of the race or not. One thing's for sure now, 4th place in GT4 is also in the hands of a Greek representative. It's Dakis Papayakovu, who brings his McLaren here, and that is because Robert Prepelica is not here in the race anymore. 3 laps down. Here is Robert Prepelica. Something happened to Prepelica, so it's gonna be difficult to recover if he plans on recovering. Bekir 5 seconds behind Victor Nicolae, but 40 seconds ahead of Klironomos, so I really don't think that Klironomos has a chance to recover. It's not that badly hurt, this car. And now behind Bekir, look what's happening there. There are P3, P4 and P5 coming up to lap him. it's a good place to catch a GT4 car. Vimas wastes absolutely no time there, and neither will Parisis, I'm sure. It's gonna be a bit harder in Blanchimont. Yeah, Sarantidis needs to wait. Now he's flashing his lights again. He caught traffic at the wrong moment. Only now he can clear Bekir. And you see cars dropping out there. Yeah, they're shortcutting the chicane, and there's somebody spinning there from it's a Greek GT4 Audi. No problems for this freeway fight. And now Parisis is on the attack on Vimas. Let's see if Sarantidis can join this party. He has been very conservative. He didn't show his teeth up until now in these scraps, and there's gonna be a battle here. That's for sure. Yeah, now it's time for Jim Parisis to go straight onto that chicane. There will be a warning. That's for sure. Berinda keeps his gap of 12 seconds there. And then look now, attention, it's a big scrap there between Vimas and Victor Nicolae. He's been caught by these three GT3s, and Parisis makes a mistake now. He makes a mistake into Speaker's corner, and it's Sarantidis' chance to be on the attack. Again, he backs out of it. Very conservative approach once more, and they'll be catching the Alpine into Pouon. Now Sarantidis has a chance, and again he thinks better of it. This gives a breather to Vimas in third place. He is up the road now, some 2 seconds ahead of this fight. They wasted some time there. And also Victor Nicolae wasted some time with these GT3s that were passing him. And Bekir, he's not that far away. He's a tiny mistake away, we would say. 4.7 seconds between Nicolae and Bekir, ahead of the GT4 class. Up ahead into the GT3 category, it's Berinda versus Mitropoulos. Yeah, they're fighting from a distance of 12.8 seconds. But the fight is on here. Between the Greeks. You see Sarantidis behind Jim Parisis, as I don't think it's gonna be long until Vimas will be caught again by Parisis and Sarantidis. 40 minutes left, so 2/3 of the race are now gone. But the deciding phase of it is right ahead of us, and we're gonna go into the night. It's gonna get darker from 9 p.m. onwards here in the Ardennes in Belgium, on the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps track. We decided that this will be a fitting destination for our first event together in Romania versus Greece, because it gives us enough opportunities to get past in these multi-class events. Have enough room on the circuit, enough places where the GT3s can showcase their advantages on the GT4s and pass safely and easily. But we're not shying away from any track. We have new tracks in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Only recently, the British GT pack has been launched with 3 new tracks. We had 16 circuits, and now it's up to 19, adding 3 beautiful, picturesque British tracks: Donington Park, Oulton Park, and Snetterton. So the British count is now up to 5. We already had Silverstone and Brands Hatch implemented in ACC. And now with five tracks, it's even more interesting on the British side. I'm still expecting in this British GT pack there was something missing. There was the GT4 Mustang that we saw in the British Championship in real life. It hasn't been added to the GT4 pack yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be coming really soon. These additional cars that are appearing. Same thing when the homologation for the SRO sanction series for the new BMW, the M4 GT3, probably next year. They're gonna be wasting no time in adding it to the platform. This last lap has been eventful to say the least for Haris Mitropoulos, the second place car. He lost more than 3 seconds compared to the leader Cristi Berinda. He's now 16 seconds adrift, and I'm sure it's all down to traffic at this moment. We saw Berinda having issues, having a slower car ahead of him, and as we moved on to Mitropoulos in the other Bentley, it's the same situation. But don't get fooled. It's not about the cars here. If you're just tuning into this race, you would think that the Bentley is such an awesome car and it has a huge advantage. It's not just that. Trust us, at least on our front with Cristi Berinda, he's a very skilled racing driver who would have been right there at the top with multiple cars, with various choices of cars. So it's not all down to the Bentley. It's just a car that he likes, and I think it's the same for Mitropoulos. Yeah, he's not usually racing this car in his regular season, and he's still featuring at the front. So it's clearly not an imbalance that shows that the Bentley is reigning supreme. Even though two Bentleys are really far ahead of the pack in the current state of things. Fotis Dimas, yeah, he's very fast on this lap, but so are the ones that are following him. Problems again for Mihai Rusu. He's down in 14th now, between Victor Nicolae and Andrei Bekir. The leading cars in GT4, the same 5 seconds. They're still there. It's been 5 seconds, more or less, give or take, ever since Victor Nicolae exited the pit lane once he satisfied his mandatory pit stop. And here nobody has his sights on the limits of Blanchimont corner. They went very wide on the runoff, controlled their cars in there, and They keep on fighting with a change for fourth place. Sarantidis had a better line there, and he now finally moves ahead of Parisis, who tries to get him back, sends him a bit wide, and now Parisis takes the place back. So it only lasted for like 400 or 500 meters, no more than that. With Sarantidis in P4, Parisis found a way back immediately after in La Source, and now he cut across the corner once more. Now he loses the car there. What's happening? We're losing the Honda. Yeah, Parisis is out of control. He clatters the barriers, and now Sarantidis is really up to fourth. I don't know how extensive the damage is on Jim Parisis' car, but he's clearly down in 5th place, 7 seconds behind Sarantidis, who is steadily rising up in the standings based on others' misfortunes as well. He was patient, and he's now getting his reward for that. I think he can be on the podium. He can catch Dimas as well. But let's see. Let's not anticipate anything in these last 33 minutes of the race. It's still wet. It's 17 degrees in the air, and track temperature. It's a typical chilly Spa evening. Many times in the 24-hour race, the real racers have been welcomed by this type of weather, so it's not a big surprise. It's very realistic to race at Spa in such conditions, and it will only make sim racers appreciate more what their real-life counterparts are doing. You see Perotis and Borlovan now into the pits for a second time. Was there an incident there or something else? I don't know, but clearly they are in the pits. Both of them. Perotis is in the endurance pits already. Leo Borlovan further down. Here is Haris Mitropoulos at 2:31 last time around, 1 second slower than Cristi Berinda, who is comfortably leading this race at the moment. His gap is increasing. Now 17 seconds behind we see Mitropoulos, and then it's Vimas and Sarantidis. Sarantidis is closing in on Vimas. There were 3 seconds, now there are just 2. But again, it's his turn to catch some traffic. Now we're on the Camel Straight with Sarantidis, and ahead of him it's the Lexus of Fotis Vimas. Let's see what Jim Parisis can do. There were 7 seconds, there are just 5 now, so he can recover. He has the car in a good enough state to be able to get ever closer to Vimas and Sarantidis once more. They can resume this fight. Look now, it's Rareș Oprea who steps aside, and still Sarantidis didn't have a clean exit out of Speaker's Corner, and now he's going through Puong. It's a very clean line in here. Not as clean on the exit. Sileos is not far behind, so if anything happens to one of these three, Sileos 8 seconds behind Parisis can be in a position to profit of these further events. Andrei Bekir is pushing, he's trying to do whatever is possible. He's almost into the wall there, but he's constantly losing time to Victor Nicolae, and I think if there were a race strategist in this race, he would have a fight with Andrei Bekir to tell him to calm down in this situation and just bring it home in second. He's risking a bit too much with this damaged vehicle. He is almost 50 seconds ahead of Klironomos. It may be enough, but not if he clouds the wall and needs to pit for repairs. It would be a real shame to force the issue that much, just to prove a point you can get in these GT4s, even when they are perfect. No less with the damaged vehicle. It's a struggle, but they have been the class of the field in GT4 without further doubt. Victor Nicolae and Andrei Bekir, they had something on everyone in this class. This time around, it's Cristi Berinda in the 230s, but so is Haris Mitropoulos, half a second faster. Not a lot, but again lapping some traffic. There's Tudor Mihai behind, who is currently holding 9th place, as Junger was also entering for a second pit stop. There are a few cars that opted for this strategy. Now the Bentley is leading. He will be catching some further traffic. I'm keeping an eye on that fight for third place overall, and in GT3 category, Dimas, Sarantidis and Parisis, gaps are the same, 2 seconds between third and fourth, 5 seconds between fourth and fifth. Merinda clears another car in traffic as we're moving here with Dimas and Sarantidis. Again, traffic plays its part as Sarantidis is gapped once more by Dimas. Sergiu Neagu in seventh, while Kirkos had a great recovery drive. Look at him here. He's right behind Andrei Bekir now. This is the perspective from Kirkos there. You see Andrei Bekir up ahead. He will have no trouble placing the Bentley even higher up. He's lapping in the 231s. He's clearly faster than Sileos or Sergiu Neagu, but he's running out of time. There's a big gap. More than 20 seconds up to Sergiu Neagu. I don't know if he can do anything about it. Oh, he's going to the pits as well. A second pit stop for Kirkos. So whoever goes for a second stop will be losing a lot of time. Tudor Mihai and Cătălin Tufeanu are looking forward to catch up with Kirkos if possible. Here is Lucian Chirvase, another Bentley driver. We're switching from one Bentley to the other. All the Bentleys survived in this race, while the Mercedes AMGs have suffered. There have been Hurdakis leading with the Mercedes and Alex Cascato in the mix for the podium in second place in the beginning of the race. They are both out of this contest. Mihai Rusu is 2 laps down on the leader, so again, not a great situation for him. Victor Nicolae races on. He has a clean race up to this point, as Andrei Bekir is almost 7 seconds behind him right now. I think Bekir has realized now that he's only depending on a mistake by Victor. There's little to no other chance of him taking this win in GT4. Because Victor Nicolae has a similar pace to him and his car is clearly in a better state. Klironomos is already a minute behind Victor Nicolae in GT4. This is quite clear. Up at the front, Cristi Berindea 230 once more. He's metronomical, and now his gap is already 18 seconds. Because Haris Mitropoulos did a 2-minute 32 seconds .4 last time around, so he left another 1.5 seconds on the road on the 37th lap of this race. This rain is getting harder and harder, I would say. The good part is that in 15 minutes there's gonna be a little less rain. Jim Paresis made another mistake. He's now 10 seconds behind Sarantidis, who is once more quite close to Fotis Dimas. Behind Dimas there's the Bentley of Lucian Chirvase now. Vimas had to overtake another GT3 car by a lap. So now Kirkos has dropped back to 10th after his second stop, and he will be racing on, trying to catch Cătălin Tufanu. Here is Kirkos. He's approaching the bus stop chicane, whilst Cătălin Tufanu is some 30 seconds ahead of him. There's more than those 2 laps, that's for sure. And Kirkos will have a fight with Mihai Rusu. Mihai Rusu is close to him, so 10th place is on the cards between these cars. An interesting situation right now. Here with Rusu trying to keep up with Kirkos if possible. We can't compare their last 2 laps because Kirkos has been on his out lap after his second pit. There were white flags there, and now it's a yellow flag here in Lacombe. Okay, it's this 466 Audi that's Kostas Vlahopoulos. He waits patiently. He will not accelerate into the upcoming traffic. There's one more car coming on, and now he can rejoin safely into the race. Look at these manners. Yeah, this car is heavily damaged. Cezar Toader, now we can see he has a hefty penalty for that incident that took out leader Hurdakis. 90 seconds will be added to the time that's still debatable. He's down in 32nd. He can only lose a few places. One to Motion, one to... No, Yiannakopoulos is not in this race. Only 1 lap completed. Back in front, here is Mitropoulos in the 230s in clean air. They have a similar pace. There's nothing to choose between Berinda and Mitropoulos, proving once more how evenly matched our leagues are. So 230.0 for Berinda and something very comparable for Mitropoulos. But the fight is behind them, with Polemarchos Sarantidis trying to get 3rd place from Fotis Vimas, as Jim Parisis again navigates there. He's closing in on Sarantidis from 10 seconds. It's now back to 8, but there have been a few mistakes from Parisis who hindered his progress. It's a bit of a shame there. Here's a fight between Leo Perotis and Leo Borlovan. We have our 2 Leos. One is from Leonard in Romania, and one is from Leonidas in Greece. So the 2 battle on now. It's a BMW against a Lexus for P13. One of the few straight fights that we have now on the track, and I think it was difficult for Perotis there. Yeah, he almost lost the car. He recovered from a half spin there, and he will need to chase down again Leo Borlovan if he wants that place. He seems a bit faster, but that mistake will make him waste time. And look at the clouds getting darker and darker as the night falls down. It's 9:36 p.m. and it's almost in full darkness at this end of the race. It looks magnificent. ACC is really a massive step ahead in terms of graphics, the way sim racing titles should look. It looks gorgeous. Look at Leonidas Perotis here, going from one Lexus to the other, the one that's better placed, a lot better. We're talking about the third place car. This is Fotis Dimas, whilst Sarantidis is in fourth with the BMW here. We hardly got any chance to look at Yannis Sileos with the second BMW. He had a clean race until now, and he runs here in 6th place. So at the moment, it's one Romanian followed by 5 Greeks in GT3 and overall. Whilst in GT4 there are 2 Romanians at the top, and then 2 Greeks following them. It's Nicolae and Bekir, 6 seconds between them. Then quite a big gap until Klironomos and Papayakovu. And then it's another Romanian, Zamfir, and another Greek, Tassopoulos. 4 seconds in between them, so P5 in GT4 might be, again, something to keep an eye on at the end of this race. Bekir is trying to push on there. Let's see what he can do. But it's hard. It's hard with that damaged car to keep close to Victor Nicolae. Let's take another look at the Alpine. Here he is amid some GT3 traffic, and sometimes we get a glimpse of that Aston Martin of Andrei Bekir right behind him. Cezar Toader, if he's not joining the pits once more, he won't have a chance to serve that penalty. It will be added post-race. Those 90 seconds to drop him behind Alex Mosh. Here is Victor Nicolae pushing on into the rain, and now it's second place Haris Mitropoulos who goes by. It's the beauty of multi-class racing. Look at Victor Nicolae overshooting his braking point into the chicane. I'm sure that Bekir saw that. He's somewhere behind. You can see the Aston Martin. He's not far behind. It's down to 4.6 seconds now. So it only takes a few of these tiny mistakes by the leader for him to be caught. It's that close in GT4. No problem for Victor Nicolae to overtake that damaged Audi. Of Vlahopoulos, but Vlahopoulos races on. He needs to nurse that car up until the end of this race. So another 5 or 6 laps, maybe for the GT4 cars, until we reach the end of this contest. Up ahead, 41 laps completed by Cristi Berinda and Haris Mitropoulos. 18 seconds. Cristi Berinda needs to pay extra attention with every overtake that he'll be doing there. This is his perspective. Look at how dark it is on Spa-Francorchamps and how hard he's pushing still. Look at the control of this Bentley as he powers out of Paul Frere of Stavelot. It's not easy at all. Now we will approach Blanchimont at really high speed, and we'll see the control of Cristi Berinda. Perfect approach of Blanchimont once more. He briefly gets up to 6th gear, and then down to 1st for the chicane Traction control in the wet, it's essential here. And now he powers down the start-finish straight. There's another back marker that will be soon ceding his position to Cristi Berinda, hopefully without any issues. It's a Romanian McLaren. It's either Toader or Moș. Doesn't matter. He's safely passing that. He briefly hit the grass, and you saw what the reaction was. And now we're on the Camel Straight. It's his favorite part of the circuit. This is an inside joke from the Romanian league. Now into the chicane, into second, and we'll be going downwards from here towards Brussels. It's a descent here. You don't see the corner until quite late. Down to second for this hairpin. It's technically a hairpin, it's a 180-degree corner. And now a left-hander. It takes him towards Puon. Again, there's a correction needed there. Mitropoulos is closing in. 17.4 seconds. Let's see if there's any understeer in the second part of Puon. No. He keeps it between the lines. And now it's up to the pith path. And there's more traffic ahead of the Bentley. Let's switch on the camera and see a bit more clearly what's ahead of Cristi Berinda at this point in time. 11 minutes remaining, some traffic ahead, and keep an eye on that gap between P16 and P17 overall. First and second in GT4 category, 4 seconds there. It could be less, and this could mean trouble for the leader. First one cleared by Berinda, second one goes wide into Blanchimont. Absolutely no time lost there by our leader. Now ahead there's I think Andrei Bechir. We will see the number if it's Marius Zamfir or Andrei Bechir. It's one of the Astons, one of the Romanian Astons. It's the 921, it's Marius Zamfir. No problem for Berinda to pass on through this string of 3 GT4 cars. There are a few cars there in the pits who have retired already. Careful there. Yeah, again, he's overshooting that upper part, the Raidillon. This is a gorgeous Bentley, and we move on to the other gorgeous Bentley, who is just entering the Camel Straight. Now it's Mitropoulos' turn to go through the traffic. He will have the same 3 GT4 cars to tackle there. Let's see how easy it's gonna be for him to go. Here's the McLaren first. The McLaren moves aside, absolutely no problem for Mitropoulos to move ahead. And then it's gonna be a Mercedes there. I think that's a GT3 Mercedes. Indeed, it's Russo. It's Mihai Russo there. Mihai Russo is in 17th. He had an eventful race. It didn't go his way. He's a fast and skilled GT3 driver. He is also capable in GT4s. Currently lies in third in the standings. In the Racing League Romania classification after 3 rounds, together with his teammate Cezar Toader. An eventful race for both, not the way they wanted it to go, but the leaders from Racing League Romania, after 3 rounds, they're sharing the M4 GT4, the BMW. It's Cristi Berinda and Andrei Bechir One of them is close to winning this race overall with the GT3. The other one had a misfortune that blocked his progress, and that's why he most probably won't be winning the GT4 category. But still, it's a solid race in second place, and only because of that damage. And there are problems. McLaren that's spinning ahead of Haris Mitropoulos. You see, when things go bad, they keep on going bad. So he doesn't have much of a chance to close that gap to Berinda like this. Now he will pass on the Camaro. No problem for Mitropoulos. The Camaro will close down the line in front of Mihai Rusu. Will that be a problem? No, absolutely not. Mihai Rusu waits for his right moment. And now Mitropoulos can push on. And there's one more GT4. There's Mario Zamfir ahead. Haris flashes his lights, but he will be wasting time here in the chicane. This is a bad spot to catch some traffic. It's absolutely not where you wanted to have that traffic. And you see, for the first time there are 20 seconds there. The gap between first place Cristi Berinda and second place Haris Mitropoulos. Let's go back and have a look at this battle for third. Here is Fotis Dimas with Sarantidis 2.3 seconds behind him. We see the BMW, it's quite close. And then it's Jim Paresis who is trying to close down this gap, but he will be running out of time. That's almost certain. But this battle for third, it's clearly not over. And neither is the battle for the win in GT4, because Andrei Bekir, he dropped behind. He's now behind Victor Nicolae with less than 3 seconds there. The gap is shrinking. Andrei Bekir is pushing on. Victor Nicolae, he's a bit conservative now. He knows that he has an important gap there. Dimas is passing Mario Zamfir, and now it's gonna be the same move to complete by Polemarchos Sarantidis. Let's see where he will be catching on. I don't think it's gonna be in a brilliant spot. He may be losing a bit of time here. As we are approaching the finish, it's getting really dark here at Spa-Francorchamps. The frames are awesome. Look at the BMW catching that GT4 Aston, and there's almost a contact there. Either way, it has been complicated for Sarantidis, who is not happy with what happened with Mario Zamfir. I don't think it was Zamfir here. It was no, it was Andrei Bekir. It was Andrei Bekir, as now Fotis Dimas has passed Victor Nicolae. Yeah, this has been essential in the fight. No, Mitropoulos and Berinda were passing Zamfir. Here was the other Aston. It was Andrei Bekir, and he didn't give enough room there for Sarantidis, because his main aim was to stay as close as possible and get a bit of an advantage at the moment that the GT3s were trying to pass his rival Victor Nicolae. Now it's back to 4.9. I think it's almost over between Nicolae and Bekir ahead of the GT4 category. Bekir has been passed also by Jim Paresis, and now Paresis is fighting on that strange line that is far from ideal, I would say. Catching on to Victor Nicolae. If you will catch him on Camel Straight, it's gonna be an easy pass. If he must wait during the whole chicane, then Jim Paresis will be angry as well. He's getting close to Sarantidis, but now he's wasting time behind the Alpine. It's essential for both of these guys to remain calm, and Victor Nicolae is a mature guy. just like Jim Paris's, and he steps aside, doesn't risk anything, lets Jim Paris's go on and chase Dimas and Sarantidis right until the end of this race. As Nicolae has a clear eye on the gap to Andrei Bekir. It's 3.8 seconds between the sole Alpine of this race and one of the Aston Martins. There are several Aston Martins in the GT4 category. Bekir is close, but he will be running out of time. That's a given. Cristi Berinda has started his penultimate lap here at Spa. It's his 46. He's on the Camel Straight, and then there's gonna be one more lap after this. This has been an easy ride for him once all his rivals were taken out by various issues. Alex Cascato had an incident and then disconnected. Then it was Hurdakis who was leading the race comfortably when he got tangled by Cezar Toader, and Andrei Bekir rammed into him, and thus he was out of the race. And finally Haris Mitropoulos had a 10-second penalty, which further curtailed his progress. He also waited for Alex Cascato after that incident, so a lot of time lost by Mitropoulos, who could have been closer to Berinda. That was the moment that Berinda passed ahead of Mitropoulos. He didn't do it on the track. He started this race from 4th, and he basically drove a brilliant race in the second hour, but the overtakes were the positions were not gained through overtakes on the track. Here is Mitropoulos in traffic. He knows he's clearly going for second place. There's nothing else that can happen here. He's 20 seconds behind Berinda, 45 seconds ahead of Dimas. Nothing can happen except some crazy situation to derail him from finishing second and best of the Greeks. So Berinda has started his final lap, and Mitropoulos only has the bus stop chicane until he will have the same final lap to complete. There's an Audi there waiting in the bus stop chicane, not willing to intervene in these fights. Here is Victor Nicolae. Here's the leader of the GT4 category after a 2-hour drive in the wet. He still holds a 3-second advantage on the man who's chasing him, on Andrei Bekir. Here is Bekir. Right behind him, it's Lucian Chirvase. Bekir runs wide. Chirvase with the GT3 makes an easy pass there, and then Bekir will be also caught by a BMW, the Greek BMW of Sileos, I think. What happened to Sarantidis? There's a mistake by Sarantidis. He left 20 seconds on the road, and he drops to 5th place. Jim Paris's goes up into 4th. Here is Victor Nicolae attacked by Lucian Chirvase, and Sarantidis is really close to Sileos now, just a few seconds there, and Bekir is closing in. Where is Cristi Berinda? He still has half a lap to complete to claim this victory. Let's move on in here. Here is the feisty part of this battle. There's still 1 lap to go and 1.5 seconds. Andrei Bekir has closed in on Victor Nicolae. You can see the Aston Martin right behind the Alpine now. This whole traffic, this whole flurry of GT3 cars has really made an impact here, with Victor Nicolae being chased down by Andrei Bekir. Let's see how close can Bekir get, and how much is he willing to risk in this situation. Here is Cristi Berinda, he's in the final corner, just the bus stop chicane, and then he will claim the victory. It's gonna be a victory for Romania tonight. It could have gone either way in GT3, both countries had arguments, but it's going towards Romania with Cristi Berinda claiming a victory with his Bentley. Haris Mitropoulos, he will be coming in second place in the GT3 category, some 20 seconds behind this battle. Here is Haris Mitropoulos exiting the last corner, and it's second place and best of the Greeks. Now we're moving to this GT4 battle. Still half a lap here until we will reach the conclusion of this battle. Bekir is still quite far from Victor Nicolae, 9/10 of a second. He's trying to destabilize his rival with flashes and such. Fotis Vimas, here he is. We will complete the podium in GT3 until we reach the finishing line with the lead GT4s. And here you can see Vimas. He was chased by Sarantidis, by Parisis, but he prevails. Finally, he had the nerves to resist in third place, and it's the second Greek car on the podium. Let's go back here with Victor Nicolae ahead of Andrei Bekir, or is he? Is that Bekir? No, Bekir is behind. There are two Astons here, and yeah, this was a bit troublesome for me to follow. Yeah, it's a car that's been lapped, and Victor Nicolae now he will resist. He's braking perfectly for the last corner, and as he exits, he will cross the line to claim a victory again for Romania in GT4 category as well. But what a fight from Andrei Bekir with that damaged car. He reaches the finishing line and smashes into Victor Nicolae. First and second are Romanian in GT4, and the podium is completed with Vagelis Klironomos and this Mercedes car. Representing Greece, it's the best placed Greek car in GT4. Fourth place in GT4 goes again to the way of Greece with Papayakovu. So in the end, it's Romania that's claiming the win in GT3 and GT4, but we have 3 Romanians and 3 Greeks on the 2 podiums, which is a great ending to this event. Remember the names of these winners. There's Cristi Berinda deciding to block that pit lane entry, and it's Victor Nicolae winning the race in GT4 for Alpine. It was a lovely event. It was a race that could have gone either way. In both categories, we had a valiant fight between Romania and Greece. It's the first international event pairing these 2 leagues. It surely won't be the last one. I've been Alexandru Șiclovan. Thanks everyone for joining in, for tuning in this Friday evening and spending it with us, with the wonderful world of sim racing. Romania versus Greece. It's time to celebrate. It has been a wonderful evening. Cheers everyone.